Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin fanatics. In today's video, we're unlocking the vault to reveal the top 7 most rare and valuable coins, each worth up to a staggering $150,000. These aren't just any coins, we're talking about hidden gems, historic minting mistakes, and legendary rarities that collectors dream of finding. Some of these could even be sitting in your change jar or coin collection right now. From mysterious double dies to ultra-rare limited releases, this list is packed with surprises and serious value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious, valuable, and exciting coins in UK numismatic history, the legendary 1971 Newpence coin. In 1971, the UK undertook a massive transformation of its currency system. Known as Decimal Day, February 15, 1971, marked the moment Britain moved from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a simplified decimal currency. Among the newly introduced coins was the 2 Newpence coin, a shiny, copper-colored piece featuring the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. What makes the 1971 Newpence so special? The standard 1971 Newpence is common. Over 1.5 billion were minted for circulation. That means finding one in your change is no big deal until you discover the ultra-rare variety that collectors hunt for. So what could possibly make a coin minted in the billions worth 50 of thousands of pounds? It's all in the minting errors, rare prototypes, and uncirculated variants. There are 3 main factors that can make a 1971 Newpence coin worth a fortune. Mint errors. Some 19,712 pence coins were struck off-center, double-struck, or using the wrong planchette coin blank. These kinds of minting errors are rare and can easily fetch £1,000 to £10,000, depending on their visibility and clarity. But we're talking about another level of rarity here. Proof variants and VIP strikes. These coins may have been part of early trials by the Royal Mint before the final copper composition was approved. A known example, reported by expert collectors, was auctioned in the early 2000s for over £50,000. Some estimates now suggest the few surviving specimens could sell for up to £150,000 if one surfaced in pristine condition today. The prototype mystery, the £150,000 coin. Spotting the fortune. What to look for. So, how do you know if your 1971 Newpence coin is one of the rare ones? Check the weight and color. A rare prototype might weigh differently, or appear more silvery or golden in color, nickel or brass composition. Inspect the edges and strike. Coins struck with misaligned dies or double impressions are extremely valuable. Proof-like or polished finish. If your coin looks mirror shiny or feels exceptionally crisp in detail, it could be a proof strike, likely worth thousands. Lettering and date position, real auction records and current market value. Now, let's talk hard numbers. Over the past decade, collectors and numismatic dealers have reported shocking sale prices for rare coins. In 2016, a mule error 1983 p with Newpence instead of 2 pence sold for £1,350. A 1971 VIP strike example, with proof-like finish and uncirculated condition, was privately traded for £45,000 in 2018. A rumored prototype piece fetched over £60,000 in an auction house in London, although private sales could go much higher. Imagine finding a single penny that could be worth more than your car, or even your entire home. What if I told you that a tiny 1-cent coin from 1964, yes, just one Lincoln penny, the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, one of the rarest, most mysterious, and most valuable modern coins ever struck by the US Mint. The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny is unlike any other 1964 Lincoln cent you've ever seen. SMS stands for Special Mint Set, and these coins were not officially released to the public. In fact, most people, even serious collectors, never knew they existed until decades later. The SMS Lincoln cent from 1964 was produced under highly unusual and still partly classified circumstances, and only a handful of these coins believed to be 20 or fewer are known to exist today. That's right. Out of the billions of pennies struck in 1964, only 20 or so of this unique variety were ever minted. By 1964, this had become a full-blown crisis. The mint stopped producing proof coins and was preparing to issue special mint sets, SMS, instead high-quality coins meant to replace proof coins from 1965-1967. What makes the 1964 SMS penny different? So how do you know if you're looking at a 1964 SMS penny and not just a regular 1960 for Lincoln cent? Here are the major differences. SMS coins have a satin-like, matte finish, smoother, and more uniform than regular business strikes. They lack the deep mirror shine of proof coins, but are far sharper than standard circulation coins. The SMS penny features sharply defined design elements. Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat all show unusually crisp detail. Even the Lincoln Memorial reverse shows exceptional clarity. Experts note distinct die-polishing lines, especially near Lincoln's profile and in the fields. The rims of the 1964 SMS penny are sharper and squarer, similar to proof coins, but not quite the same. These coins have no mint mark, indicating they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, another clue to their experimental origin. If you find a penny with all these traits combined, you might be holding a six-figure treasure. Record auction sales. In 2019, a 1964 SMS Lincoln cent graded SP68 Road Red by PCGS sold for $31,200. Another sold in 2021 for over $45,000. In 2022, one specimen approached $60,000. But here's where it gets crazy. Private sales and insurance evaluations have put the value of the finest known examples at upwards of $120,000. $200,000, and even an estimated $300,000 for a flawless, gem-quality coin. The finest certified specimen, currently graded SP68 Road, is believed to be one of only one or two in that top grade. If one ever came to auction again, it could shatter all previous records. What if I told you that a simple Connecticut state quarter from 1999? That's right, coin lovers and treasure hunters today. We're diving into one of the most valuable and rarest errors ever found in the state quarter program, the 1999 Connecticut state quarter dollar with a mint error so unique, collectors are fighting to add it to their collections. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, a bold initiative to honor each U.S. state with its own unique design. Connecticut was the fifth coin released, hitting circulation on October 12, 1999. What made Connecticut's quarter instantly iconic was its beautiful reverse design, the charter oak tree, symbolizing the state's resistance to tyranny and the preservation of freedom during colonial times, sculpted by T. James Farrell. This detailed tree was surrounded by the inscriptions Connecticut, 1788, the charter oak, and 1999. Let's break down the top rare error types found on the 1999 Connecticut state quarter. Double struck error. Auction price, up to $12,000, $25,000 depending on the strike and condition. Cap die error, auction price, $35,000, $80,000 plus. Off-center strike, extremely dramatic examples fetch big money. Auction price, $10,000, $20,000, wrong planchette error. Lighter weight than the normal 5.67 grams quarter. Auction price, $7,500, $18,000, broad strike error, no rim. Auction price, $3,000, $7,500. Why this coin is so valuable? So what makes the 1999 Connecticut error quarter so insanely valuable? It's from the first year of the state quarter program. Connecticut quarters were struck in massive numbers, making errors harder to detect. These are major die errors, not common wear and tear. They are visually stunning, drawing the attention of serious collectors. Some are one of a kind, meaning they're irreplaceable in the numismatic world. Coin collectors pay top dollar for early errors, especially in popular series like the state quarters. This coin checks all the boxes, real auction examples. A 1999 Connecticut quarter with a massive double strike and off-center error sold for $80 to $1,000 to $150 at a heritage auction in 2021. Another, with a cap die and full mushroom-like deformity, was valued between $60,000 and $85,000 based on PCGS auction trends. High-grade errors with both eye appeal and extreme distortion are commanding six-figure valuations in top-tier coin auctions. Of one of the most shocking coin errors in U.S. history, the elusive, ultra-rare 1965 Washington quarter struck on silver plankets. A coin so rare, collectors will bid six figures just for the chance to own it. So grab your coin jars, and don't blink, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. The United States Mint was facing a national coin shortage, and silver prices were skyrocketing. For decades, quarters, dimes, and half dollars were made of 90% silver. But by 1964, the cost of silver was almost equal to the face value of these coins. So what did the government do? They completely removed silver from the quarter in 1965, introducing the new copper-nickel-clad composition we still use today. This decision marked the end of an era and the beginning of one of the biggest opportunities for rare errors in U.S. minting history. This mistake produced one of the most legendary mint errors in U.S. history, the 1965 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet. These coins look nearly identical to the normal 1965 quarters, but there are subtle differences, and they are worth a fortune if authenticated. Real auction records. In 2014, Heritage Auctions sold a 1965 silver quarter for $7,050. In 2019, another sold for $16,450. A gem uncirculated specimen graded Ms-67 sold for nearly $35,000. Experts believe that if a 1965 silver quarter in near-perfect MS68 or MS69 condition surfaced, it could easily fetch over $100,000, $150,000, especially if it's certified as a mint error with strong provenance. Some insiders estimate a perfect silver error quarter could reach to $100,000 in a competitive private sale or auction house like Stack's Bowers or Heritage. Just a simple 25-cent coin from 1976, but here's the twist. It's not just any quarter. It's the rare bicentennial quarter with mind-blowing mint errors that have shocked the coin world. Imagine digging through your pocket change, and instead of 25 cents, you discover a coin that can buy you a house, a luxury car, or even pay off your debt. In 1976, the United States Mint released a special series of coins to commemorate the 200th anniversary of American independence, the bicentennial. To celebrate this historic moment, the U.S. Mint redesigned the reverse of the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. The bicentennial quarter, officially dated 1776 to 1976, features obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan. Reverse, a revolutionary drummer, and a torch surrounded by 13 stars. Designed by Jack Lahr, most were made in copper-nickel-clad composition. But here's the twist. Some were struck in 40% silver, available in special mint sets and proof sets from San Francisco. Double die obverse DDO, worth up to $100,000 plus. Off-center strike, worth up to $150,000, struck on wrong planchet, worth $125,000 to $250,000 plus. Missing clad layer, worth up to $100,000. Dot die clash error, worth up to $50,000, while not as rare as planchet or strike errors. Bicentennial quarters with dramatic die clash marks, especially visible drummer impressions on the obverse, can demand $25,000, $50,000, particularly in mint state. Bicentennial quarter DDO MS67 $105,000. This exceptional coin showed strong doubling on the motto and date. Combined with flawless luster and strike, it crossed the auction block at Heritage Auctions, smashing previous records. 1976 quarter struck on silver dime planchet, to $150,000 plus. This error was so significant and clean that collectors fought for it. It came with authentic certification from PCGS, verifying its unique composition and strike. 1976 off-center strike quarter, $150,000. A bicentennial quarter struck 60% off-center, but still showing the full date, and drum design fetched six figures due to its dramatic eye appeal. These aren't just stories, these are verifiable sales with documentation. And they prove that error bicentennial quarters can be life-changing finds. What if I told you there's a 1960 for Jefferson nickel out there so rare, so collectible, I'm revealing the legendary 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel. A secret gem from the height of the Cold War minting era, one of the rarest and most valuable nickels in American coin history. If you think all nickels are just 5 cents, think again. This coin could literally be your ticket to fortune. In 1964, the U.S. Mint was in a unique situation. This was the last year they produced Jefferson nickels for general circulation, before switching to new compositions in 1965 due to a shortage of nickel metal. The 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel is widely regarded as the holy grail of Jefferson nickels due to its limited production and unique quality. Why 1964 SMS nickels are so rare? Well, SMS sets were officially produced in 1965 and 1966. The 1964 SMS nickels are shrouded in mystery because the U.S. Mint did not officially release an SMS set in 1964. These coins were made in very limited quantities, possibly experimental or test strikes, making surviving examples incredibly scarce. The exact mintage numbers are unknown, but estimated to be in the low thousands or fewer. Only a handful of collectors and numismatists have ever handled authentic 1964 SMS nickels. Most 1964 nickels were struck for circulation, making these SMS specimens an extreme rarity. Collectors refer to these as ghost coins because their existence was debated for years until verified by grading services like PCGS and NGC. Identifying the 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel finish, the coin has a distinct satin, almost frosted finish, much smoother than regular circulation nickels. It's not as glossy as a proof, but more refined than a typical strike. Strike quality. These coins show ultra-sharp details on Jefferson's bust, the rim, and the inscriptions. The surfaces are clean with minimal blemishes due to the special minting process. Mint mark. Most 1964 SMS nickels have no mint mark, as they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. However, some special examples with a D-mint mark Denver also exist, which are even rarer. Weight and composition. Made from the same 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy as circulation coins. Weighs approximately 5.0 grams. Condition. Because of their rarity, most known specimens grade very high, often in the MS65, MS67 range or better. Real-life sales and auction results. A 1964 SMS Jefferson nickel-graded PCGS MS67 sold privately for $175,000 in 2023. Another MS66 specimen reached $120,000 at Heritage Auctions in 2021. One ultra-high-end SMS nickel with pristine detail fetched close to $200,000 from a top private collector in early 2024. These coins are rare unicorns, and when they appear on the market, they command headline-grabbing prices.